Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to remind you that if you like my content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and then join the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community by clicking the link in the caption.
Hey, good evening everybody. It's Militia Man and Crew, and it's Saturday evening, and I hope everybody's had a great day. And I know that everybody's probably watching and checked out what's going on with Iraq. Of course, they had their Arab Development Summit, and I think that's been ongoing. Just so you know, I mean, some of you folks that are new or those that are members indirectly, hey, just want to let you know what the value of Patreon and our Discord chat room brings is that we bring thousands of articles into our venue, our community, if you will. And not all of them are in Patreon, but there's thousands of articles at your disposal in our Discord and our Patreon, okay? And so basically what we've done is put it together for the last 2 years and more is have a collective of all that data. And that data is basically a progression of where Iraq was and where Iraq is today. So there's value at your fingertips. It's $11.99 for the month. What we have is a wonderful crew, and we also have a free Discord chat room that goes with it. And you can come in and you can ask questions. You can get me. I bring in, at times, I bring in audios for the Patreon and the Discord chat room that you don't see in the public. But that's why we have extra stuff that comes with Patreon membership. So if you guys haven't joined yet, everybody's welcome. So come on and enjoy us. So we're going to get started tonight. And because of this summit, you know, there's been a lot of things in the news, and the collective has been a progression and a positive tone towards Iraq and what they've done and their performance and what they've done for the last at least 2 years under the prime ministership of al-Sudani. And his team is phenomenal. Obviously, he has people like advisors, al-Nusuri, Mohammed Saleh, and others. We have Taif Sami, she's a phenomenal finance minister. And then you have the Central Bank of Iraq, who has done nothing but, Moshe al-Alak, has done nothing but do what was necessary to comply with international standards, etc. And that's why this Arab Summit is big, is because it's going to create an environment that's brought in up to date, other than what was today. They've had $89 billion come into Iraq. And we're going to see that there's even more than that on the table tonight. But anyway, this article is that the Iraqi economy supports Arab economic cooperation at the Arab Summit. It goes on and says, in cooperation, and there's an interesting word if you guys do some research. If you type in integration, you're going to see that buzzword, because we've been following along different things they use in the news media, in the news feed, and they have themes. And one of the words that I've picked up on is integration. And here it says, in cooperation and integration with the economies of regional and neighboring countries in strong economic blocs, and exploit their common resources and capabilities to form an independent economic pole to confront the risks and challenges that occur and sweep the world. And that the Arab countries together may be an important and unified people, or unified pole, of economic and financial energies and resources. He goes on and says, from the monetary data from 2024, 2025, through the first quarter, it says, we are expecting a strong and robust economy with GDP growth of 5.3%. I think you guys realize that that's a big increase. And an inflation rate of around 2.5%. So it's not only been at 2.9, 2.7, now they're talking about it's even declined to 2.5% in 2025. That's throughout the year, I guess. It says this is based on the availability of foreign exchange reserves that exceed $100 billion. They have about 163 tons of gold, which is sufficient for a period of about 18 months at a rate of about 140% to cover imports and their local currency in circulation. It goes on and says that the giant strategic projects planned through 2028 confirm that Iraq is on the verge of a major economic renaissance. It says it's proceeding steadily in accordance with the government and the central bank strategy reform in development, digital transformation, and compliance with international standards. The number of Iraqi banks that have been banking relationships and accounts in solid international correspondent banks and deal directly with them through foreign transfers has reached approximately 20 banks, and they deal in multiple foreign currencies with several currencies. It says basically with a close eye on reality, because that is a reality, of their monetary policy implementation that they've done. The central bank's procedures, basically they're monitoring international economic variables, their impact on the Iraqi economy, and its compliance with those international standards. So they've been paying attention to it. They've been monitoring what they've been doing. Okay, so what is it going to do? Basically, it's going to enable Iraq to integrate. Remember the word integration? It says enable Iraq to integrate into the global banking system. That's what we've been expecting. That's exactly what we're witnessing. It's just that obviously we don't have that hourglass to know when it's going to be able to finally be done. But we can see that obviously they're moving forward. And it says that since they're going to integrate into the global financial banking system and the control, movement, and safety of foreign currency trading, the bank's commitment to implementing the new foreign exchange instructions, so there's new foreign exchange instructions, addressing obstacles promptly has led to a gradual recovery of the dinar over the past several weeks, which is obviously they've been talking about the official exchange rate and the illegal market. But it says that gradual recovery over the past several weeks, what's it doing? It's bringing in effectively purchasing power for the people on the street that are outside the system. The central bank's monetary policy applications, its coverage of the entire demand of the U.S. dollar in trading the market through its various official outlets, and its control over the distribution of cash, dollars, according to a new method that's praised by the United States Treasury and considered a globally advanced method in distribution of the U.S. dollar, and the trend towards completing daily transactions with credit cards abroad. They're going to be able to do that, and they are doing it, I guess, in foreign currencies at the official exchange rate, of course. But they have the ability to do that, and once Iraq has a real effective exchange rate, they'll be able to just keep moving forward. Okay. It has decisive understandings were reached with the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. Federal Reserve in that field. So what is it? They believe that the next stage will be an evaluation and analysis stage of the achievements made and a re-evaluation of the next stage towards achieving comprehensive economic progress, moving towards activating the real sector and reducing dependence on oil. When they say real sector, they're talking about the private sector. They go on and talk about banking reform as the beginning of comprehensive economic reform. It says certainly the above mentioned pillars upon which the Iraqi economy is based will ensure that Iraq's economic initiative of the Arab Summit that's happening or happened today will receive a positive response from the attendees, and we expect it to be approved. I find that to be very interesting, and to me that's to be expected to be approved. So basically Iraq would probably have had to show what they're doing, what their guidelines are, and what their decisions were made in these last week's meetings, and have them approved. And to me that would be like a reconciliation aspect. In other words, they give them the information, give them the data, and then all those countries around the world that are major trading partners would be part of the decision of what is going to take place. And obviously that those meetings took place today. Iraq has all the right things accomplished for integration into the global financial system as I see it. And this article here is interesting. Like I talked about, there was going to be more money coming in. It says Baghdad summit will attract about 30 billion in investments to Iraq. So just in this one day, what they're going to be talking about is additional to what I already said about that 88 or 89 billion they're talking about another $30 billion. It says, despite being held under exceptional circumstances in the Arab region, including the repercussions of the situation in Palestine and other Arab countries, in addition to the security and economic challenges, the Arab Summit will provide significant economic momentum to Iraq. It says Baghdad has succeeded in eliminating security concerns, and with the current positive developments, the summit will contribute to stimulating economic exchange between Iraq and Arab countries. It fits right in line. It says that the Baghdad summit, there will be positive repercussions to or on 10 to 12 economic sectors between Baghdad and other Arab capitals, with the potential to attract this investment of up to $30 billion over a few years. All these things take time. Building a new country takes time, and investments, they flourish. And when they integrate into the global financial system, the private sector is going to be embracing it. And there's going to be a lot of money to be made. The Prime Minister's advisor, he has an article out today. Its Baghdad summit took place regularly, and Iraq regained its leading role. So Iraq is taking her place back, her rightful place. It says the Baghdad summit gains its importance from its holding in Iraq, peace and stability, and the importance of regional and Arab developments. It goes on and talks about as for the subject of content. The content is great with the political, security, and economic initiatives carried by the summit. And Iraq, the president of the summit, has a year ahead of it to implement these initiatives, stressing that we are working to unify ranks and positions on important issues. He points out Iraq has regained its leading role, and its position has become very important, and everyone sees, hears, and waits for Iraq's position will be on any issue raised before launching other positions. And this is evidence of Iraq's role and importance in the region. Basically, it looks to me that today's summit has been a big success, and there was many key issues that were covered. Integration financially, economically, societal concerns, security, stability, political. There's a laundry list of things. Basically, there's a declaration out. You guys should read that in Patreon. And ultimately, the question is, will integration in the international financial system be the final step? We'll see. Here's another article, the President of the Republic. So I think this is Rashid, of course. It says the success of Baghdad summit confirms Iraq's insistence on its vital role in the region. Sure enough, Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid, which is the president, he's basically praising Baghdad's hosting of this Arab summit in participation with all these Arab leaders. Basically, he's tweeted out, I guess on X, right? He says, our capital Baghdad successfully hosted the Arab summit, its distinguished guests, including leaders, heads of state, heads of participating delegations, in a move that confirms Iraq's determination in its vital role in the region. He says, we also adopt a foreign policy based on establishing that security and stability and peace, working together to advance our countries towards economic trade, cultural relations that serve the peoples of the region who have suffered greatly over the last few decades. So that was the president. I think that was a powerful statement. All of these are from the top brass, if you will. Okay. Here's the one, the foreign minister. You guys know Fuad Hussein, right? It says, Iraq has recovered and begun a new phase to attract investment and development relations. He goes on and says, the outcomes of the development summit focused on enhancing economic integration. The development summit emphasized enhancing inter-regional trade. And it goes on and says, Iraq affirmed its full support for these trends and that Iraq has recovered and begun a new phase. He goes on and explains as Iraq is witnessing that stability in all of its cities, stressing that stability is the basis for attracting investments and developing relations. And hey, now we're talking about the Prime Minister. Like I said, there's all kinds of different top brass that are talking, but I just picked out a few. I think there's probably 15 or 20 different articles that we went through just today that have many different points of view, but I just picked out a few today. The Prime Minister Development Summit constitutes a strategic platform to consolidate Arab partnerships. It says the Prime Minister Shia al-Sudani welcomed the attendance of the Arab Economic Social Development Summit, indicating the Iraqi government launched a package of financial reforms and development projects that supported the health and education sectors, as well as launched the Baghdad Initiative to enhance Arab cooperation in the face of the environment and the climate change, while the summit constitutes a strategic platform to consolidate Arab partnerships and activate development and mechanisms. We all know that that started today and is completed, but it says holding the summit today in Baghdad is an opportunity to emphasize our collective commitment to achieve the sustainable development goals and promote integration. See how that works? I think the themes they put out, they're like phenomenal. And they show you what they're doing. Noting that joint Arab action is the path of our advancement, befitting our civilization and historical status. So this summit constitutes a strategic platform to consolidate Arab partnerships, activate development funds and mechanisms, open new horizons for women and youth and child welfare. The youth are going to be really important. But activate development funds and mechanisms. I have a good strong feeling that there's a component to that is to some of the things that we haven't seen just yet, which is the finalization of the 23-24 budget tables. We haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen the oil flow yet from the Cyan port to Turkey. And we haven't seen the historical salaries being paid, the retroactive ones back to 2023 yet. And you haven't seen the 2025 budget schedules yet. But when they say activate development funds, that's investment. That's part of the 23, 24, 25 tripartite budget. I think it is. Maybe you don't, but I do. Okay? And the mechanisms. What are mechanisms? Well, exchange rates can be mechanisms. So that's my view on it. It says we propose the establishment of a joint Arab mechanism. So they're going to work with Arab regions for a joint mechanism. And they go on and say that it's necessary to move to investment, just like I was talking about. It says as it represents an opportunity for development and the educational environment it provides capable of supporting entrepreneurship and innovations. What's that? Private sector. Okay. It says, in response to the current challenges, our government has launched a package of economic and financial reforms, development projects, and vital infrastructure. He goes on and explains, we have supported the sectors of education, healthcare, digital transformation, empowering the private sector, paying attention to the development of the tourism sector, big money in that, leading to the launch of 5-year national development plan in Iraq. They started in 24, it's going to go through 2028. He says, we announce the launch of the Arab Economic Reform Covenant for the next decade. So they have a covenant to get stuff done for over 10 years into the future, okay, which includes providing an integrated and joint investment environment for Arab investment, liberalizing trade and establishing free trade zones. He goes on and says, we adopted this goal through strategic development road project, which connects the great port of Al-Fa to the Gulf of Turkey, passing through to Europe. It says the vital development road project includes opportunities for Iraq and the region, as well as industrial and investment cities on its path, and the corridor represents that integrates with international transport and energy networks. Again, they come back and they tell you that they've already collected about 88 to 89 billion, and there's quite a bit more to it, but ultimately who is all involved. There's it says here the protection of the environment is for the protection of the environment. The initiative is to establish the Arab Center for Artificial Intelligence in Baghdad. It talks about their initiative for the Joint Arab Security Coordination Chamber, establishment of the Arab Center for Combating Terrorism, Center for Drug Control, combating transnational organized crime, and they have all kinds of different things. But it goes, there is no security without development, and no development without real Arab economic integration. We hope that this summit will be a turning point in the path of the Arab development, and that we will translate its decisions, they talked about those decisions for their declaration, to have them, those decisions turn into concrete steps on the ground to serve our peoples and the future generations. So all of these things that we talked about tonight were basically talking about the summit that took place today. And they talked about approvals, they talked about integration, they talked about lots of different buzzwords that show that Iraq is ready for investment, for the private sector. And for that to happen, we believe that there's going to have to be an interconnectivity and an integration and to the global financial system. They haven't done that at 1310, but they are expected to have a real effective exchange rate at some point in time. And so that's what we're waiting to see, what if, in fact, that those regional countries have an approval. And does the central bank have everybody's blessing for what they're going to do? And does the international financial community support that? We already know that we have videos that tell you that they already did. They've given them grace. Let's go. So, hey, anyway, that's what I have for you for Saturday. And I hope you guys like it. Please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, come on into Patreon, check out the value, even if it's only for 30 days. You can always, say thanks, but no thanks. $11.99. We have Discord chat room, comes with it, as you guys know. But so anyway, enjoy, and thank you for all your support, PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle. Thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful weekend, and let's see what happens.
Once again, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like this content, subscribe to the channel, or join us at the Militia Man and Crew Patreon community for even more exclusive content. You can also donate to this channel by hitting the links in the banner to help keep this page up and running. Your generous support is greatly appreciated, as always. Much, much appreciated. Thank you so much, and have a great day.